Like the day. Yeah, the young woman's. Oh, here, you can have that one. I'll go get one.
Yeah, the roast peas.
Wait a minute. Counting on the margarita.
Been here all day? Yes, because we work in Master Garden. You work what? Master Garden. Who's that? I'm in horticulture building. Oh. I just briefly watched. Yeah, I got here around 2:35 or so. So are you having a nice summer? Oh yeah. Enjoying the weather. You know what happens in another couple of months, few months. I know 6 months or whatever. Yep.
They put in there. Sheep pan nachos? No. I'm not into sheep pans, they're sloppy eating. I'd rather do a board and I don't eat chicken.
Eat some right now.
Yes, but not, if I was doing this, I would probably eat chicken a lot. If I did it, I'd be
Is this too loud? Is this fine? Can you?
That's probably better.
That sounds good.
We got good ears. We're good. Way too loud? Thanks, Mom. I appreciate you being my biggest fan always and sitting in the front row. My daughter too. My wife. Hey, before we get started, I just want to thank everybody for coming out today. I know it's a hot one. I know it's AC, so this might be a little bit, nicer break for the next 40 minutes while we talk through what we're going to make today. We're going to do sheep pan Greek nachos, which is one of our favorites that we make at home. Usually just for the two of us because our kids don't like to eat fun stuff like this. And we're also going to cap that off with an uzu margarita. So we are not Greek. If you are and I mispronounce something in your heritage, I apologize ahead of time. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You are fine to heckle. That we're going to get that out of the way here first too. Thank you to WeEatCNY's Demo Kitchen for having us both out here today. So quick round of applause for them. And please, if you're here other than today, this week, please make sure that you come down and support the other chefs, mixologists, other local people that are going to be here in the WeEatCNY's Demo Kitchen. So my name is Chris. This is my wife, Kate. She is going to be helping me with chopping while I am helping with just the talking for the most part today. I have one rule before we get started. Did anybody take an econ class in college? Raise your hand if you took economics in college, even if it was a long time ago. Do you remember what opportunity cost is? There's no such thing as a free lunch. So while we're here, I'm giving you something, but you're going to give me something in return. And my jokes are pretty bad, so you're going to laugh and clap at them, and I'm going to teach you how to cook. Does that make sense? We got thumbs up? Good. I got some laughs already. Good. I appreciate that you're faking it till we make it. So we are going to make these sheep pan Greek nachos. I love this dish because it's all encompassed on one thing. A sheep pan. Who hates to clean up after they cook? Every man in the room Raise your hand. You hate it. I hate it. We all hate it. We all know it. It's fine. I'm glad that we're also getting that out of the way too. So this is really easy to make. You're going to make the pita chips, your nacho chips on one pan. We're going to really spice up some chicken before we toss it in the oven. The first thing you want to do before you cook. Anybody know what the first thing is that you want to do before you start cooking?
Knees in place.
Wash your hands.
Thank you. Appreciate that somebody else knew it before I had to say it. So we're going to wash our hands real quick. We're going to wash our hands a bunch of times today too because we're working with raw chicken. So we want to make sure that that's clean. I thankfully brought towels, so we don't have to worry about this, right? So we're going to get towels. We are going to get, while Kate is chopping and cutting things, we're also going to make a homemade tzatziki sauce along with this. That's going to be quite fun. I like to think of things along this nature as kind of a blank canvas. And cooking is a lot more fun when you get to put your own spin on it, right? I'm giving you a recipe today too. This is just a roadmap. If you want to go off course, you want to chart you choose your own adventure like the books that I used to have to read when I was a kid, you do you. The spices I'm going to put on the chicken marinade, you're probably like, those aren't really Mediterranean. That seems like it's more Mexican or a little bit southern, or something that's not in that same vein. That's fine, right? Cooking is an expression of who you are, not what the recipe is. So Kate's making tzatziki. She started up with shredding cucumber first. Now, shredding cucumber, super easy. Just cut it right in half. Use the big side, those big holes on the shredder. If you can't see which one she's using, these are the big holes. We got that on camera. Good, big holes on that one. So use those. Now you can either shred that or you can finely dice it, whichever you want to do. I've got dice on the recipe. You can shred. If you're going to shred, you want to do the best that you can to get all of the moisture out of the cucumber first. So easy way to do that is grab a nice hefty pinch of salt. You've got your strainer here. We're just going to go over. We're going to salt that, and we're going to let it sit. So if you want to do that ahead of getting started, you can see already how much water Kate's gotten out of that. You can, every once in a while, use that spoon, press it down. Keep that. You don't want your tzatziki to be runny. Nobody likes runny tzatziki. Bad joke. What's about to happen on that one. So after we've got this going, the base of that tzatziki is going to be the Greek yogurt. Everything that we've got here today, of course, you can get at your local Wegmans. We've done our best that when we went to Wegmans, that we looked for local producers. Now, Chobani, I believe, still has a facility maybe out of like the southern tier area. I think they went out towards Utica as well. We've got some Emmy & Sons grape tomatoes as well. Some phenomenal produce from Wegmans too. While Kate's kind of popping stuff in the tzatziki, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get our chicken thighs out of the refrigerator. This question's going to come up really bad. Who in here is a breast person? Raise your hand. Who's a thigh guy? Right? So I'm going to tell you, stop cooking with chicken breasts. They have no flavor, right? Maybe it's a nice blank canvas. You want to spend all the time to use vinegar and get your marinade deep in there. Stop it. Switch to the thighs. You'll thank me later. So we're going to get our thighs. I got to laugh on my wife. Maybe that one was fake too. I don't know. But we're going to get those thighs. I'm using 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs in here today. We've got our oven preheated at 400 already. I'm going to try to go wet hand, dry hand. Here's my dry hand. What are we going to do right now? Wash our hands. Yep, absolutely. Sorry if I seem repetitive on there, but we don't want any cross-contamination. We don't want anybody getting sick. We want to make sure that we are nice and healthy to be able to enjoy these sheep pan Greek nachos. So while we've got that chicken right in the bowl, we're going to use the other cup of the Greek yogurt. Right? We're going to have a little bit of fun with this. So toss me the Greek yogurt. Thank you. We still have that spoon. We're going to spoon this out. Not many people are allowed. If you're going to use yogurt in a marinade, yes, we're going to add a little bit of extra fun in there, a little bit of extra flavor. So I heard this the other day on Instagram, and it made me laugh. If your food's not changing color, you're not adding flavor. So we're going to go in there and we're going to make our food change color. You've got the recipe for how much you want to put in there for all the marinade. I am just going to kind of free-form it in here. I'm probably putting more than 2 teaspoons, and a lot of everything is put in there. But we're going to do this as fast as we can because I know you're having such a good time, but I don't want you to be here all afternoon. I want you to get back out to the Midway, enjoy those carnival games and your rides, and all of the other food that you can eat. So we've got some cayenne peppers, some cumin, some paprika in here. We've got oregano. We've got, lastly, I think this was chipotle chili powder as well, right? These are not great seasonings, right? I don't know, when I go to the Greek Fest at St. Sophia's every year, they are not cooking with chipotle chili on there. So we're going to do 2 things, right? We're going to zest, they're not, are they? Is anybody Greek here? You guys don't use chipotle chili, right? So we're gonna zest a lemon. How many of you sit there with your lemon or your citrus and you're doing this on it, right? You're just going back and forth. Stop. That's not the way. Ask any mixologist if you go downtown how they're gonna zest it. You're gonna come all the way around your fruit, just like that. You're gonna do that before you want to juice it because there's nothing worse than you're gonna try to zest half a lemon.
No.
You're gonna get lemon juice in an open cut and it's gonna burn. We've got a little bit of zest in there. Again, it's not perfect. Before we cut our lemon, we're going to just roll it around a little bit. You guys see up here? Is that good? You can see that up there and on the monitor as well. We're going to roll that around. Can you give me just a quick run through on that? If it's got garlic in there, that's fine. All better. We're going to add some lemon juice in there too. You have extra garlic over there for me too? Ship it, yeah, for sure. You can, if you don't want to use like the whole thing. When somebody asks how much do you want, you say all of it, right? Like, you can't have too much garlic. If you're married and she's still kissing you after you go out and have garlic pizza, you don't have to worry about it. Just put all the garlic in, make it more fun. We're gonna get in there. I'm gonna take out the watch. This is gonna get a little bit fun. We are going to get in there with our hands. We're gonna mix all this up. We're gonna need clean up on the stove afterwards. So we would also add some olive oil. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring a little bit of olive oil. Wegmans, I think they said that somebody ran off with it. It's not bolted down. You're not keeping it in here. So we are going to, after it's all nice and run through, it looks okay. Change a little bit of color. Probably need a little bit more spice and a little bit less yogurt. We're going to lay all of these out as much as we can. And again, our oven is preheated to 400 for a couple different reasons. We're going to be able to cook the chicken, and it's going to be nice on the sheet pan. We've also got like that cookie drying rack so you can get the juices out of it. You can save those juices when it comes out. You're going to want to let your chicken rest as well as being able to recapture some of those juices. You want to let, anytime you're cooking chicken, anytime you're cooking meat, anytime you're cooking pork, you're going to want to let that meat rest after it comes out of the oven. You want it to suck up some of those juices, get it right back in there, so that you have, again, more flavorful food. So I'm going to thankfully dry hand this for a second. Our oven is at 400. We did it. We preheated it. We hit start. We did not fall victim to what I've heard everybody else did. So we're going to toss that in the oven. We're going to go back and wash our hands real quick, because that was a lot of stuff on there. Now we're going to shift over to the second pan that we have laid out. It's going to be super easy. All we need to do is cut up some pita in as big as you want your chips to be. Right? You can use, if you want to use pita, if you want to use naan bread as well, if you like it a little bit thicker, whatever you want to do, because again, I'm just giving you the roadmap. You have fun wherever you want to take it. How many of you have kids, whether they're old or young? If you're older and you had kids when they were young, how much free time do you have? Our son plays hockey, lacrosse. Our daughter plays hockey, lacrosse. We don't have time when you get home sometimes at night. Yes, you want to smile, wave to the crowd. I know you wanted to be up here today, so just smile on that. So you don't have all the time in the world to cook. Sometimes you might get home from work. If you're working 9 to 5, you get home at 6 or 7, depending on the traffic where you live. You don't have all the time in the world to be able to cook. So sometimes being able to prep things or being able to find some of those kitchen hacks that you might see on TikTok or on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram or Facebook, go ahead and do that afterwards. We gave you the ability to do that right on the recipe. So I'm just going to take these. I'm going to, I don't know if you probably can't see this, can you? The ones I left alone. Feel better. So we're just going to take these. I just did the whole stack at once. We're going to cut right down, rough chop it. I don't feel secure in my knife skills of doing that again. So we're going to, we're just going to take these smaller ones, go right down the middle. Now you can lay them out however you want to. I would say try your best not to overlap them. The reason for it is I'm sure that you want some crispy chips and you don't want soggy chips. I think if you're going to overlay some of the pita, that you're going to get a little steam cooking in there, so it might not be as crisp as you want. If you see that you've run out of sheet pan and you want more chips, by all means, grab another sheet pan and make some more chips. So I'm going to get these out. Again, if I had remembered olive oil, we would toss these in olive oil as well, and then we would lightly salt them. Salt makes everything better. Salt, fat, acid, heat. I'm not going to go into all of that. But we have cut the tzatziki with a little bit of lemon. Again, that's that acid. You've got the fat from the Greek yogurt. How's it taste? Good? See? Very easy to do. If you don't, if you want to save time and not spend that was 15 minutes maybe, tops, making your own tzatziki at home. Wegmans does carry their own container of tzatziki. You can also get it, I think, in the Mediterranean bar, and you'll be good to go. So in our tzatziki, if we weren't following along, it's just Greek yogurt, cucumber, garlic, dill, lemon juice, lemon zest, and then if you want to get a little bit extra, you can toss some mint in there. Again, if you want to heat it up, you could toss some of the other spices that we've used here today to kind of meld the flavors between the tzatziki and the chicken. Totally up to you. Roadmap, you drive, we have fun. I am going to put these back over on this plate over here. So we have, we put that in, I didn't set a timer. I think we put that in about 7 minutes ago. So we're going to put these to the side real quick, these pita chips, because after the first 20 minutes of cooking that chicken, we're going to want to flip it over, make sure that it gets a nice even cook if there's a little bit of crunch on both sides, if it's caramelized a little bit. So in the meantime, we can pretty much set all this aside. We've got our tzatziki going. I'm going to put this big one and leave this for the chicken for later. So now we're going to get to the main event. We're going to make an uzu margarita, right? If we went a little bit Greek with the nachos, we're going to go a little bit Greek with something that's going to complement them. So very easy to do. I'm going to come around front so we can check out some bar skills. I want to give you guys a couple of things to do. Who likes to make cocktails at home? Who likes to drink cocktails while you're out?
Yes.
Alright. I'm like, if we got a beer and wine crowd, I am goosed on this last demo. If you don't like cocktails, if you're not drinking, I'm taking a sabbatical for personal reasons. I'm doing a little challenge with myself. I'm not drinking till October 15th. You could come up with some fun mocktails that you could do as well without the alcohol in there to kind of pair up. Or if you wanted to make it kid-friendly as well, I see some more kids over in the audience. My kids only drink water and the occasional chocolate milk. When you're making a cocktail, I got a couple rules to making a cocktail. Use good ingredients. If you're using vodka, don't go buy bar ones that's like $3 for a 4 liter. It's not going to taste like a cocktail, especially if you're having friends over. You want to treat your friends, so they want to invite you over, and they've got to do all the cooking, and they've got to do all the cleanup as well. So today, in making this margarita, we have some beautiful añejo tequila. This is actually a gift from 2 friends of ours that I photographed their wedding. I don't photograph weddings, so please don't ask me to photograph your wedding if you need somebody that was a one-time and done thing. We've got some orange liqueur. We've got some ouzo. I don't know what ouzo is good ouzo. I went to Liquor City, that's right next to Wegmans over in DeWitt yesterday, and I found the most Greek-looking bottle that I could. It had Greek letters on it, and it had been around the longest, so I figured that was probably the best one. So, in doing so, we are going to also use who bakes? Anybody bake? Right? Baking is a science. It's not so much like freehand like we're doing here, right? Like you're making a chemical reaction. You got to have things in perfect harmony. So I try to do that with a cocktail as well. We're going to make this one we're going to make this true onto recipe. So we're going to first go with 2 ounces of tequila. I've got a little cocktail measurement device here. I did get this, I think, at Wegmans as well. I shop there a lot. Does anybody wish that Wegmans just had direct deposit from your paycheck, like a certain amount every week so you didn't have to worry about paying for things? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pump in an ounce and a half. One side's an ounce and a half, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do a ½ ounce. So we've got tequila in there. The other thing that we made before we came, because it would not be fun to make it here, was simple syrup. Anybody know what simple syrup is? What's it made of?
Sugar and water.
Sugar and water. Equal parts sugar and water. Simple syrup is fun though, right? You might think it's the most basic thing, sugar and water, but you can make it as fun as you want to. If you want to steep star anise in this, if you want to put in some fennel seed, if you wanted to, outside of what you're doing, if you want to put any other herbs, spices, vegetables, fruits in there and make a little bit of an amped up simple syrup, you can really impress your friends that way. Especially if you're in college, because nobody knows how to make your cocktails in college, so you've got yourself a leg up. I'm going to put a ½ ounce of simple syrup in here. Nice and convenient little measurement. We're going to have ½ ounce simple syrup. We've got a ½ ounce, everything with a ½ ounce except for the tequila, so pretty easy to do. ½ ounce of that orange liqueur as well. Contrao, you can also say, I probably just butchered that. What's that? Cointreau. Oh no, that was Trace Cointreau. He didn't speak Spanish either. Here we go. So then we're going to do one final ½ ounce of that ouzo. Ouzo's got really that licorice, that fennel kind of smell. So we're just kind of popping a little bit more fun into that common margarita. Somebody might like a spicy margarita. Somebody might like a fruited margarita, like a watermelon margarita, something along those lines. However you want to make it again. You know, just have fun with it. Part of the fun of cooking and making cocktails and sharing that experience with your friends, your family, whoever it might be. We're also going to grab a lime. We're going to squeeze just a quarter of lime in there. Don't throw the lime away yet. We're going to do something, and we're going to make the glass, have a little bit of fun. Raise your hands. Everybody like margarita? Anybody like a margarita here? Do you like it? Do you like it with salt or no salt?
No salt.
No salt. Who likes it? Sorry. Who likes it with salt? You like it with salt? We got salt, salty. Syracuse, right? It's the salt city. We should all like it with salt. You can get a lot of fantastic salt from one company here in Syracuse, Syracuse Salt Company. Dave and his daughter Libby have brought back salt making to the area that used to be the hallmark of what Syracuse is about. You can find this, I think, at Wegmans, Epicuse, Syracuse probably, all over the city, or you go direct to their website. They have different flavors of salt. We love their finishing salt, but we use it a lot. My daughter loves the magic salt. You like the magic salt? In macaroni and cheese, it can even amp up your Kraft macaroni and cheese if that's what you or your kids like. We've amped our salt for the rim up a little bit here today. Again, we wanted to meld those flavors between the chicken nachos and the cocktail. So I took a bunch of fennel seed last night, and I took out a mortar and pestle and put that into some fennel salt. You guys see that in there? No, probably not bad. If you guys want to pass this around, you're more than welcome. Pass it around. It doesn't have any alcohol in it, so we're okay, right? Okay, good to go. Wait says we're fine. So in this cocktail shaker, we've got everything we need except for one thing, and that's the ice. How are we doing on time over there? We're good? Take a look at that. One side looks good? One side looks good? Good enough? Yeah, you want to take it out? We'll flip that. My sous chef is phenomenal. This is a role reversal, a little role play. I'm usually the sous chef in the kitchen. My wife is a much better chef than I am. I think the only thing that I knew how to cook before we met was chicken parm. And that's pretty much the most basic, and I'm really glad that I didn't choose that as our demo. Other than that, it was microwavable meals, or maybe drive through and order at Burger King. We have tongs?
All the way.
All the way over?
Yeah, that door. Yep.
If I was a chef and I was really a chef, I could come up with a new lyric, the Tong Song, throw back to like late 90s. You're supposed to laugh at the jokes. That's what we agreed to at the beginning. Alright, so we've got that ice in there. We're going to shake this up. You want to shake your cocktail until you can basically not hear the ice rattling around in there anymore. That's how you know it's super cold. I don't think we have that much time. Ooh, it's almost 4:30 or 4 o'clock anyways. This is really fun to knock off. So you want to hold it in one hand. This isn't a joke, you guys aren't supposed to be laughing. Alright, so I had to run out for like 4 months. There we go, we did it. We got it back. So who's got the rosemary salt or the fennel salt for me real quick? I'm gonna steal this back. Thank you very much. I don't have the fennel salt. I don't have the Uzu margarita up in your handout. If you want, I will do two things. I will share it on social media, so make sure you're following. I will also do my best at some point in the future. Again, full-time job, 2 kids, coaching, all of the fun things. I will do the best to put it up on our website as well. I don't want to put it there. Do we have another cutting board? No? All right, I'm going to just put it right here. So I was doing this last night, and I felt a little bit like Walter White. And if you get the reference, you can laugh in your head. If you don't, watch Breaking Bad. It's really a great show. So I am going to take the fine powder that we made here. Can you guys see that on the top there? So I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I had to cut it up a bit last night. We are going to take our glass. We are going to use that lime. We are going to, you guys can see it. So we're going to rim that glass nice and well. And now we're just going to kind of roll it in that fennel and salt mixture. That's going to get a nice aromatic. Cocktails are more than just the experience of what you're tasting in your mouth. There's also the sight, the smell, the experience of those people that you're with. We got a little bit on there, so we're going to call that a win. If you didn't want to hand grind it with a mortar and a pestle, you could also use like a little food processor. Probably not a slap chop if you've got one of those from the infomercial at home. We're going to just put that in. It's got that nice golden yellow color from the tequila, the nice, really rich fennel smell from the Uzu. And if you want to get a little bit extra with that, you can maybe take a little bit of an orange peel, light it on fire, drop it in there. You could also float some star anise on top of there as well. Again, right? A cocktail is for your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, not just for tasting. How are we doing on that chicken? We still probably got a couple more minutes.
So
be wondering, the Uso margarita, what does it taste like? I know when Chris mentioned this to me, I thought, okay, margarita sounds a little strange, but I was the test taster last night, and I will say it's very clean, it's very light. If you like that licorice, it really is a nice surprising flavor that I think would go well with anything, even just sitting outside and enjoying a nice day. I was pleasantly surprised with the salt, it's very nice to accompany it, and the bells, surprisingly, give a nice little crunch to it, and just a topping. So it is a very delicious drink. I was a little surprised at the Uso, but it was nice.
Fantastic. I know that we're kind of at about a half hour right now. I want to leave some time for questions, but I also want to make sure that the food is cooked enough. We'll give it another 5 more minutes. Anybody have questions while we wait for a couple minutes?
Did you grease the rack before you put the chicken on it?
So under normal circumstances, yes, I would give it a little bit of olive oil spray so it doesn't stick on the sheet. Whether you're doing that for your chips or you're doing that for the chicken, right? You don't want to have to pull it off and lose all the crunchy bits. Other questions? We're going to put this all together and just have fun because I know we're starting to lose some people on it. I want you to see what it looks like. All right, let's take this out. We're going to plate. We have our tzatziki. We have also chopped up tomatoes, black olives, some red onion. We've got some more of that dill that we can garnish it with. But again, right? This is your party. You use whatever flavors you want to. A couple more minutes. So WeEatCNY, before we go and while I'm working on letting these rest for a couple minutes, Kate and I started WeEatCNY about 4.5 years ago, I want to say. I was at a job, really didn't like it, needed to find an outlet to be creative and get out in the community. Kate and I, as well as sometimes this small one that has, you want to take off the jean jacket, you got matching match today, the great reveal. So we have been going out for date night for the better part of 15 years for every Friday that we've been together. After our kids were born, either my mom was here in the front row or Kate's parents would take the kids for an overnight to allow us to have that time where we could come back together. My job was in retail. It was an hour away from where we lived, so sometimes we were like 2 ships passing in the night, and that Friday was our lighthouse to be able to bring us back together. So we knew that there might be some other families, people that were new to the area, or just people that have been here for a long time, and they didn't know where to go out to eat. So we said, hey, let's just start showing people where we like to go eat, introduce people to chefs, to restaurants, to food that they might not have known about before. Syracuse is a big burgers, pizza, and Italian food kind of area, but there's so many more hidden gems around in the area. Just like Salt City Market that's opened up. I think it's 1-year anniversary of being open. 2 or 3 year of breaking ground was just this past month. So there's a lot of great opportunities to get outside of your comfort zone when it comes to food in the area, and we wanted to do what we could to highlight that. And along the way, we've had fun bringing the kids into the fold. We've got the newly crowned Chief Sweets Officer, because if it's something that is candy or sugar related, she's all about it. The cotton candy burrito over at Milky Bun was a favorite of hers a couple of years ago at the fair. So we appreciate all that you brought to WeEatCNY as well as what we had to offer too. So this chicken's been sitting for a while. We're going to take it. Because it's cooked now, I don't have to worry about what knife I'm using. We're just going to rough chop it. I would probably chop this, if I wasn't pressed for time, in a lot smaller pieces. If you wanted to use a food processor and kind of do shredded chicken on it, you could do that as well. If you wanted to low and slow cook it, if you don't have all the time in the world and you wanted to slow cook it in your slow cooker when you left for work in the morning, Ensure that you could do that, set it at an appropriate time. If you wanted to air fry the chicken, you could do that too, right? However you want to cook it. I saw somebody else had the recipe that was similar, that they were doing it with a cast iron skillet. They were a breast guy and not a thigh guy, so I wanted to make sure that I was true to the way that we wanted to do it here today. But you can see we've got the cubes of chicken. How are we doing on those? How are we doing on the pitas? If you can see the chicken up here on the top, I would probably leave this in for a couple more minutes. But again, I wanted to plate this up to make sure that you all got to see how well it looked. We're going to take this chicken. We've got those nacho-ish chips up here. I've got the booze front and center still, so let me move this over really quickly. You move this one up. You got the... I messed up twice. I can move that over. I've got my towel. Sometimes you don't think while you're talking. Always take an extra second and think before you speak. So here we go. Can you guys see that up front on the monitor too? Perfect. So we've got the chips. We're going to take that nicely chopped up chicken that we had. Again, you can have more, less. We're just going to throw that on top. Everybody loves when they go to a place that has nachos, that there's like one spot where they just heap everything into the mountain of flavor, and then every other spot is just the chips on the side. So we're going to do that. Spread that around a little bit. You could obviously take all of your vegetables here. We're just going to put them all together and then kind of drop them on top and drizzle it around. If you wanted to add some flat leaf parsley into this as well, you want to chop up some of that dill and we can get that down. So we've got our vegetables on there. We've got our chicken. I'm going to wash again, just a quick rinse off. I'm not worried about vegetables on there, but I am going to open up that feta cheese. Just instead of your Monterey Jack or whatever you might want to use, we've got this crumbled feta from Wegmans. I don't have a recipe to make your own feta cheese at home, so you'll have to ask somebody else for that if you want it. We're just going to take that and toss those crumbles right over top. Got some fun there. And now we've got that tzatziki that we were making at the beginning of the demo. Everybody loves just that big dollop of sour cream sometimes right on the top of that, but we've got tzatziki. You can also put this in a ramekin and have it off to the side if everybody wanted to kind of serve their own tzatziki on there too. You've got that dill, and there you go. You've got sheet pan Greek chicken nachos. This is going to probably serve, if you did the whole recipe, you cut up all the chicken, I would say that you're going to probably get 4 to 6 servings out of this. When we bought everything at Wegmans the other day, I think it was about $40. So you're looking at about $8 to $10 a serving, depending on how many people that you have there. So an affordable, healthy meal, packed with flavor that I know that you're going to love just like we do. So thank you so much for coming today to Wegmans Demo Kitchen. Thank you for running a great video here. If you have questions, feel free to come up and ask them. We'd be very happy to answer them. If not, have a great time. Have a great time at the fair. Give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook. Check out the website, and let's find ways that we can interact and share some more values with you. So thanks again for coming out today. Have a great day. If you're
What's the actual time? I think they're getting their fill of stuff.
Oh, I do too. Get it. Make me say hello on the camera.